Hi there, it's March the 6th, and we're continuing our progress through the good news of Mark, and we're in chapter 12, reading from from verse 38 through to chapter 13 and verse 13. There's a contrast here at the end of chapter 12 in the two stories that we look at here. First of all, Jesus warns about the scribes, about the lawyers, of the keepers of the law, who are just wanting to look good. Everything they do is to attract attention to themselves. So they're looking for favor, they're looking for respect, they're looking for honor. They would complain if they didn't get the best seats at the tables. And Jesus says, beware of that kind of outward piety. But then that's contrasted with the story of the widow who comes and she drops a couple of coins into the temple treasury. There are lots of rich people coming and putting in their big gifts out of their largesse, but she just quietly puts in her money, and Jesus points to her. He notices her and says, see that woman? Said, all these people have given a little out of their much, but she's actually given all she has, even though it's such a small amount. And says, note that generosity of heart, that sacrificial giving, which even though it's not a lot, is actually everything she has. And Jesus commends her for her generosity. And then in chapter 13, as they continue to walk through the temple, the disciples are overwhelmed and they're impressed by the splendor of what they see in the temple. But Jesus is not impressed. Jesus says, look, this is all going to be torn apart. All this is going to come crashing down. He sees ahead what's going to happen. And then he begins to speak more about the times of the end and about the things that are going to happen. And he says that there's going to be, for one thing, there's going to be persecution. There's going to be an attempt to silence those who want to share about Jesus as Messiah. And people will think that they're doing favors when they do this. But Jesus says not to fear, because actually when that happens, you will be given what to speak. We can expect persecution, but when those things happen, the Holy Spirit will give us the things to speak, will give his disciples the things there to say. Of course, many disciples suffered greatly and still suffer greatly in persecution. But as we rely on the Holy Spirit, he strengthens us and gives us the power to stand for Jesus. May we stand for Jesus today, this March the 6th.